but we're getting to it now. Let me just pull up. Okay, first clip is 4 minutes. This is a shit show. Basically, I want to show this because it's what Roseanne's always doing. Trying to unite everybody, say it's not the Jews, and we all got to believe in God. It's the Satanists. It's the Satanists. She wants everybody on board with the Satan boogeyman and the God of the Bible, the good guy.
Hot dogs I eat a lot of hot dogs.
More than would fit on a plane, I think.
I guess so, right?
4 minutes in, and we're talking about Pizzagate. Some silly scandal from, 2016?
A big private jet full of...
He also says he thinks aliens are on this International Space Station and wild shit. It's like, ooh, new top conspiracy guy. What's he talking about? Jesus deception? No, Pizzagate. Giving shout out to that Liz Crokin QAnon woman for her Pizzagate work. Kosher conspiracy slop.
How many hot dogs is that? I eat a lot of hot dogs.
More than would fit on a plane, I think.
I guess so, right?
Dude,
this is the stupidest thing to me. Oh, hot dogs. 60,000 for hot dogs at the White House. You got hundreds of guests. You have to fly out all the food, all the equipment, all the workers for deluxe expensive catering. And they're trying to that's the big thing you want to talk about. This video has over 100,000 views on Roseanne, by the way.
He's got a big private jet full of wieners.
Yeah, it's almost like hot dog means something entirely
It's almost
different.
like the CIA handbook says hot dogs mean male
FBI.
prostitutes.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Right? Maybe it was something like that, but who knows?
Well, it was really scary because
Allegedly.
it was the WikiLeaks. So I used to be a Democrat. You don't know.
Yeah.
We're just meeting today, but it was.
Oh yeah, she gets so drunk in this video, by the way.
That the Muslim people hate the Muslim Brotherhood worse than I do.
Yeah.
Because it's ruined every one of their countries. Egypt, Iran, every place, Yemen, which are all 56 Arab countries, by the way, while they were saying about how Israel's an occupier, are now Judenrein.
Means no Jews allowed.
No Jews. They're all under Muslim rule with no Jews. So we don't look at two sides of anything. When they're goading us into this, I call it Qatari Muslim Brotherhood propaganda, which taken over all the media here. And it just says the evil Jews.
Everybody knows the mainstream media is nothing but talking about evil Jews because it's so clearly run by the Muslim Brotherhood. Come on. I just saw this. Gig Chattington. It's the Muslim Brotherhood. Really good face swap with the Ancient Aliens dude. Muslim Brotherhood.
That's Islamicism.
Yeah, but you're not talking about MSNBC and CNN and Fox, are you? You're talking about the decentralized sort of
I'm talking about them too, because they're stupid fucking opinions too. They don't even know who was let across this border. They don't even know about the cells ready to explode this summer.
Yeah, I agree that they're not talking about the invaders.
The Democrat bullshit.
But they're also not blaming the Jews. The mainstream media, like CNN, MSNBC, Fox, they are totally not blaming the Jews. They are very pro-Israel.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
There
are Democrat commentators that have started to walk towards just telling Palestine.
I know. What kind of alternate reality is Roseanne living in? She thinks all the mainstream media is anti-Israel. Give me a fucking break.
Palestine side of it. But they're
whitewashing ethnic cleansing. They're whitewashing all the supremacy.
Not blaming
Judaism
Jews for it on mainstream media.
Well, I think they are. Yeah. I think it's very hidden, but I think
they're doing it in her mind, in her imagination. It's hidden, but they hate them so much.
They are. I think they are when they say Israel and war crimes. That's bullshit.
The International Criminal Court.
Well, that's bullshit. That's George Clooney's fucking commie Turkish
It's all bullshit.
Wife.
Anybody that criticizes them, it's bullshit, and they're Amalek, and they hate them for no reason. And they're Muslim Brotherhood.
That's horse shit. She's fucking one of the Muslim Brotherhood. Fuck her. She just got taken. Trump said she's not even welcome in this country. Fuck her. Why don't you go get one of those, what are they called? Mullahs there in Iran, letting people rape and murder women in the streets. Why don't you arrest one of them motherfuckers for once? They don't.
Chuck Schumer?
Chuck Schumer.
He's married to a man they all are.
Why are they all married to dudes? Why are they all married to dudes?
Seems to be.
I'm telling you, closeted gays.
I'm telling you what, I believe there is, like I've said on Alex Jones, the world's largest religion runs everything. And the world's largest religion, the oldest religion, is Satanism.
Yes.
And
God created Satan, Roseanne. Look, he's shaking his head. Yeah, they're all satanic. I guess we all got to believe in Rabbi Yeshua and the Jewish God, since they're all this secret satanic cult runs everything. It's not the Jews. It's not the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims that dominate everything. It's the secret Satanists, the boogeyman. That's what it's all about. It's all Satanists, Luciferians, globalist New World Order. Like, she wants a Moshiach New World Order. Does Ian Carroll say, hey, actually, I think the Bible's Jewish fairy tales? No, he won't say that once. He shakes his head and nods and he's like, yeah, it's the Satanist, man. The secret Satanist everywhere. They pretend to be Jews, but they're really Satanists. They pretend to be Christians, but they're really Satanists.
They run it all, and they have their secret societies. They're infiltrated in religions. They're everywhere, and they run it on kids. And period.
If Satan is the bad guy in charge, that means God and Jesus are the good guys in charge. And yes, she does also shill Rabbi Jesus.
For those of you who are Christians, please sign up for my podcast where I am beginning to talk about the Jewish Jesus. That's what...
Standing O for Jewish Jesus. This is her agenda. Unite the Abrahamics. Rabbi Roseanne, unite the Abrahamics under the Jewish God and the Jewish Messiah. Anybody that doesn't want, and all the pagans that don't believe in magical Jews and their prophecies, those are the enemy. Those are the Satanists. You don't worship magical Jewish blood magic rituals and Jewish prophecies. You are Antichrist and anti-Moshiach and anti-Semitic.
Well, they hate God, for one thing, and they really hate Jews, and they hate Christians because, their religion comes from Judaism, and they hate Muslims because, they have a connection to Abraham, too. They just hate anything that comes from Abraham, and why is that?
Oh, we hate wanting to be your Noahide slaves, huh, Roseanne?
Said they want everything. Well, they hate God.
They want everything. No, you want everything.
That's it. And that's what everybody should know, and stop letting them divide us from doing something about just that.
Agree.
Stop letting, he says, absolutely. Yeah, don't divide the Abrahamic matrix. Unite against the supposed Satanist.
Agree.
They're drinking, and Q is real, and they're drinking adrenochrome, and they're eating babies, and they're doing, and then it gets off into total kook world.
You agree with me?
Yeah, and so, like, for example, you look at
He agrees 100%. Hey, all the Jewish God Yahweh believers got to team up against the Jewish boogeyman. You're keeping it all kosher on the Abrahamic plantation, Ian Carroll. Hey, Ian, when are you going to talk about how Jesus is fake and Jewish? You're not a Christian. You just want to grift off these Christians? Everything's a conspiracy. Mr. Conspiracy Guy. You're not going to talk about how religion is a conspiracy and mind control? You're going to sit here and nod along with all these Christians with this satanic Yahweh paradigm? We see you.
the Catholic Church.
Oh, and by the way, I don't think he's a secret Kabbalist. I don't think he knows anything about Kabbalah, but he had some scandal this week with wearing a red bracelet, and then he's like, oh, you guys are crazy, and then showed, and it was like an actual Kabbalah bracelet, like an evil eye Kabbalah bracelet. He claims his father-in-law gave it to him and his wife. I've never had another man give me a bracelet, but whatever. And I honestly don't think he's some secret Kabbalist. I think it's just like maybe even trolling and marketing because he knew it would happen.
They've got all kinds of scandals about, raping kids and trafficking and work with the mafia. That is like
Documented.
Satanism all through, right?
100%.
Yeah, so child abuse exists. Rape exists. That's Satanism. So if is a Catholic Church all satanic because they're covering up pedophiles? Is Orthodox Jewish communities all satanic because they have cover-ups of child abuse? Or are they all Satanists now? It's like not a true Christian, not a true Muslim. Dude, it's just what Alex Jones does too. It's all of the kosher alternative media. If somebody's kvetching about Satan, that's like their way to Jesus smuggle. If Satan is the problem, Jewish God is the solution. And that's the paradigm. Fake problem, fake solution to a fake problem.
The American CIA, you've got the Finder scandal. Satanism straight up in that scandal, right?
Straight up.
And then, but you look at Jeffrey Epstein in Israel, like that, like he's a Jewish person that clearly was a worker of Satan.
100%.
Like, and he's not working on behalf of all Jews. When
he has a Jew.
No, he's a pervert. He likes young girls. You think Epstein believes in Satan? I don't. I doubt it. They just, anything they don't like, they call Satan, so that everybody is herded towards Jewish gods.
Jewish name, but he's a Satanist.
I don't think
Exactly.
I don't
Please, can we just say that?
He's working for Mossad and blackmailing people, and you're blaming Satan. Not Mossad, Satan.
Yep.
And
Because
a lot
I'm
of
so sick of it. I am so sick
We're
of
in
it.
agreement.
He never kept Shabbat, for God's
Yeah, I
sake.
don't
that's what I'm
consider him
saying
a
is
Jew,
that
yeah.
Nothing wrong with those Shabbat keeping Jews. Nothing wrong with real Judaism and real Jews. Now we're going there, right? Oh, it's only those secular leftist, secular humanist Jews that are Jew in name only. They literally use that term.
these people in all the religions, when
they're
they
all the
turn to that
same.
evil, they are serving evil.
They're Satanists.
So, see, these people
They
in the
believe-
religions that turn to the religions aren't evil and Jewish and want world domination. No, it's only when they turn, when they subvert or when they turn away from the religion is bad. The religion is good. That means the religion's good. And it's bad to turn away from the Jewish religions. You see the difference in the rhetoric and the messaging here?
That Moloch has power, and they think they're pulling a fast one on God. They think they're like doing some kind of triangulation to get one over on God,
Yep.
but they're not, and they're stupid. And like I always say, y'all are going down. The Bible says in this Jubilee year, y'all are going down. You're done. We know you're
See?
cooked. You're caught.
The Bible
And,
says,
we're just seeing how much damage
you
you're
believe what the Bible says?
create before you just walk
Ian?
away. And I would pray that you just walk away. Let somebody decent who cares about children take your job. You got enough money. Bye-bye. Go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is absolutely a war between good and evil, God and the devil.
It is,
That's it. We all
absolutely.
know this. We're in agreement, right?
Yeah, we're all in agreement. He keeps going, you agree, right? You agree. Yahweh good, Hasatan, Satan bad, right? You believe we're all in the Judeo paradigm, the cosmic battle, the Jews versus the Gentiles. The sons of light, the sons of darkness. You're either with God, you're with Hashem, or you're with the devil, right? That's what you believe, right, Ian? He just nods and shakes. Yep. Not exposing the Abraham. He's an Abrahamic matrix agent, and he doesn't even believe. That's the grift. Hey, does he want to lose 80% of his Christian audience? Does he want to be blacklisted and suppressed and censored and go after the actual conspiracy? No, he's going to protect it. He's gonna go along.
Religious.
This is Roseanne's son, by the way, does the podcast with her.
More religious.
Yeah.
You would agree with that.
Oh, I'm definitely developing spirituality and religion.
Yeah.
Well, you have to, or you, I mean,
Yeah.
you just-
Yeah, I'm definitely developing my religion. Yeah, Christians, support me. Tithe. I'm not anti-Christian. Christianity's totally not Jewish and fake and has brainwashed everybody. I'm totally getting spiritual and religious, man. When the psyop about the Olympics Last Supper thing, where it was clearly the pagan god, he tweeted, he's like, I'm gonna go buy a Bible. Makes me think there's a satanic cult that runs the world. I'm gonna go buy a Bible. That's the Jesus grifting, dude. I'm so sick. I've got even less sincere Christians. Okay, they really believe it. They're brainwashed. But the people that don't believe and still go along with it, and Jake Shields and Lucas Gage and selling Jesus shirts when you don't believe in Jesus, the Ian Carroll doing here, you're not helping. You're enabling it.
much damage you're going to create before you just walk away. And I would pray that you just walk away. Let somebody decent who cares about children.
More religious.
Yeah.
You would agree with that.
Oh, I'm definitely developing spirituality and religion.
Yeah.
Well, you have to, or you, I mean,
Yeah.
you just have to have an anchor and a battery, I think.
Yeah. And I think, too, for me, it was
Guys, I don't have a battery and an anchor. What am I going to do? I don't believe in the Jew God that chose her. How am I going to live? I don't have a battery. I need a battery, guys. Recharge my Jew battery, my Jesus battery. This is so stupid.
twofold. It was in this job learning more about the satanic forces in our world, like real satanic cult scandals that you
Real
can read evidence
Satanism.
of. So I'm like, okay, there are people taking that seriously, so I should look into God more. And simultaneous to that,
See, this is what it does. How do they scare people into believing in God? They put out satanic shit. They scare you with Satan. He's the boogeyman. Satan is not real. You're just calling everything Satan. A lot of the people even saying stuff about Satan don't believe in it. They're just trying to trigger you. They're trying to be edgy. They're trying to be counterculture to the established institutional religion. This is what happens every time. These conspiracy people, oh, everything's satanic. Alex Jones, oh, the satanic Luciferian globalist New World Order. scaring you and hurting you to Jesus. Textbook example right here. Zerka said the same thing. This is what works, I guess. It's easier to scare people. The stick works better than the carrot, apparently, with a lot of people.
Before you just walk away. And you just have to have an anchor and a battery, I think.
Yeah. And I think, too, for me, it was twofold. It was in this job learning more about the satanic forces in our world.
Learning about Pizzagate and QAnon, and that made me totally believe that Jesus might be real. You know, Pizzagate? Pizzagate happened, so Jesus must be real, bruh. Is that really what we're doing? Hey, man, some celebrity wore some horns at the Grammys. Like, Jesus must have walked on water. Maybe he really is the son of the Jewish God. Like, is that really what we're doing here?
Satanic cult scandals that you can read evidence of. So I'm like, okay, there are people taking that seriously, so I should look into God more. And simultaneous to that, I was starting to think more about how do you raise kids in this modern 2025? Like, for example, the OnlyFans girls that are competing to destroy their destroy womanhood in themselves more, all over our Twitter feeds. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And how do you protect young people from like our cultural traps and these like sinful, evil parts of our society?
Well,
so
like I say, for everybody.
Sinful, so now
I
sin
can
is
tell
real?
Just looking at them, they're molested. They were molested, and that's why they end up like that.
Cycles of abuse.
That's why they end up hateful. That's why they end up getting
100%.
joy out of destroying people. That's what happens to you when you get molested as a kid. We better do everything we can to stop that from happening, and especially when it happens by us.
Who owns OnlyFans? He donates to AIPAC, but he's a Satanist, not a real Jew, Satanist. How do you protect your children? I don't know. I don't believe in the Bible. Do you think I'm doing anything to protect my child from that type of stuff? You teach them that it's bad. You teach them that it's harmful. Do I have to tell my daughter, oh, you're going to go to hell if you get on OnlyFans when you grow up? Maybe you don't expose them to all the degeneracy. You protect them and shield them from the degeneracy of the world. You don't need the Bible to do that. We've had the Bible. We've had a largely Christian country. How did that protect us? Thank you.
Figures.
CPS.
And the worst being by religious, spiritual.
Yeah.
That is a pact with the devil to destroy a
and
child's
parents
soul.
and family members.
Yeah.
Well, that is
Deep
just
betrayal of-
deep, horrible.
Isn't that the most common perpetrator is a family member?
And it is also, to link it back around, it is one of the most common tactics used by this satanic network, by whatever this deep state network is.
Trauma-based mind control.
Yeah, exactly. And the CIA was studying that deeply all through Project MK Ultra. And they
he's filling in for Candace, who was a newly Christian Catholic convert too. You wouldn't get that gig if you didn't go along with the everything's satanic and we got to believe in God narrative, conspiracy narrative. The conspiracy world is basically just a pipeline for brainwashed, kooky conspiracy Christians. Christianity is like the ultimate conspiracy theory. God conspired to choose the Jews and then have them reject the Messiah, and then all the Goyim believe in him, and you got to believe or you're going to burn in hell. Like, it's the ultimate conspiracy. This guy's Mr. Conspiracy Exposer, blows up on TikTok, fast-tracked on all the big platforms, goes on Joe Rogan. Is he exposing conspiracies, or is he advancing the biggest conspiracy, the Jesus Abrahamic conspiracy?
a lot of that. They destroyed like 97% of the documents or whatever. But it's pretty obvious that they were realizing that the number one way to mind control people is dissociative identity disorder.
That's right.
And dissociative identity disorder comes out of childhood sexual abuse more than anything else.
And
100%.
trauma.
Exactly.
And see, I think that whole thing in Gaza is the UN Satanists. I think they're all Satanists. And they found a way to use USAID to do what they always do, because it all comes from German mind control, Project Monarch, when we brought all the Nazis over here. And the Nazis did not lose. They won, and they came to America.
Of course.
And they took over our
the
space.
favorite Jew conspiracy, that the Nazis are secretly running everything. They just make it seem like the Jews have so much power. See, the Nazis are just sitting back while Nazis are the most demonized and deplatformed and vilified and smeared in all the movies and Hollywood and everything, because they're really running things. They really won, and they're hiding everywhere. This is the Kabbalistic narrative that there's secret Amalek all throughout Europe. Every European is deep down Esau and Amalek and hates them like a law of nature. It goes along with all of that shit.
Program, our medical association, things. You can search it on Google.
Well, yeah,
But-
Alan Dulles was instrumental in all those
Yeah.
paperclip operations.
Yes, and
Oh yeah, he's like going along with the Nazis are secretly in charge. No, they didn't lose. Millions of Germans weren't firebombed. They haven't been paying sanctions to Israel or reparations to Israel for decades. They're not vilified in every Hollywood movie and everybody gets deplatformed and banned and attacked by groups. No, they're secretly running things. Right, Ian?
basically comes down to forced Nazi-like experimentation on captive populations. That's what a lot
Yeah, the Germans won, right, Seathralt? The Germans won. That's why everything is so anti-white, anti-German, and Europe and America are being overrun with immigrants because the Nazis are secretly in charge. Trust the plan. They're running things down from their base in Antarctica. He goes along with it. I don't think he does any pushback on this one, actually.
about torture and murder of children, and then they study it like those Nazis in their notes, you know. But that's what I think they're doing to the children of Gaza, the UN. I think they're...
Nazis are slaughtering the children of Gaza now? It's Satanist Nazis. Not the Jews aren't bombing the Palestinian kids. It's those satanic Nazi Muslim Brotherhood.
Their goal is to make child assassins with no memory banks. That's what they did in all the MK Ultra studies here in America on the children, like my friend Kathy O'Brien. It was to deliver messages to power and be a sex slave. That's what they want the children to be, and to be able to kill without any memory or conscious memory or conscience.
Mm-hmm. That is so I'm hearing you right. That's actually a wicked idea that I've never thought of, as in like a population-wide experiment of can you turn a huge number of the population of in powers if you put them through a certain treatment.
Well, that's what it is. It's Nazi experiment, mind control experimentation. Because why and it's on the world too, because the world never asks. One thing they never ask is, why don't you return the hostages so the war could end? They never say that. And the other thing they never say is, why don't you put those children...
They were trying to do hostage negotiation deals, and Israel wouldn't do them until Trump came in to give Trump the W.
That you're crying over. Why don't you put them in those tunnels?
She's just in a obnoxious old schizo drunk yenta.
Billions of dollars built. Why don't you do that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the tunnels could never fit hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, they could. They're miles and miles and miles long, and they traverse all...
She says, why don't you just put all the kids in the tunnel?
Miles and miles long. Wouldn't we have video of them from the IDF getting into them?
They do.
I've seen video of like small underground compartments.
No, have you seen the Philadelphia corridor? This was all a subterranean war, which, that's what I think's really going on.
She's into dumbs. Are you into dumbs?
Dumbs are wild. Yeah, dumbs are a whole rabbit hole.
I mean, they got
deep
cities
underground.
I just in order for Gaza to have been able to build dumbs level infrastructure underground, they clearly would have needed something other than Gaza infrastructure to build.
They did. They had. It goes all over the fucking place, like here in America.
It's definitely all over here in America.
I mean, from the Long Beach port all the way, it stops at the
Nazi bases.
How would you move children? We know children.
Nazi tunnels all under the cities.
Every day on barges into Detroit.
Okay, 44.
They worship the goat, which is the scapegoat.
They're a great example of a family and one of the largest power networks in the entire world for 100 years or more.
That's what
She interrupts so much
in the agreement.
What do you mean?
In the agreement that the Satanist royals make, they agreed to play the part of the scapegoat, which comes from old mythology and Babylonian shit. That's why they always wear the goat's head at all the parties. And they worship the goat, which is the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Because their thing is like...
She's saying the royals who believe in Jesus worship the scapegoat?
Everybody, like the boule, you know about the boule?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they sell out black people.
Yep.
Like, I'll tell you about Israel in a minute, but the Rothschilds get rich by selling out Jews and then stealing their property. That's how George Soros got rich too. So everybody gets rich by selling out their own tribe. That's what happened to the Indians.
That's how Diddy got rich.
That's how everybody gets rich.
It's your sacrifice. It's your payment.
How did the Rothschilds sell out their own tribe? What's her evidence of that?
Yeah, that's how you get in.
So then I'm really curious how that makes you feel about the founding of Israel, as the Rothschilds were instrumental in the money side of that at the time.
Okay, well, you want as my mother says, good, they owed it for all they stole from us, for all they sacrificed us.
Yeah, because everybody knows the Jews are the real victims of the Rothschilds. Their capability, their skills of always spinning something to make it where they're the victims. Victims of the Rothschilds. Help them create their state. Oh, well, they owed them because they were so bad to the Jews. Unbelievable.
They fucking owed.
They're like the top philanthropists for Jews, probably.
My grandmother's blood and her mother's blood paid for their filthy money, and they owed it.
The Rothschild family
Yeah,
did?
they owed it.
But doesn't that give you concerns about what the true intentions and how, like, who the powerful people that were in the organizing, like, echelon at the founding of Israel? If, like, the organizers of the beginning of Israel are the Rothschilds, and a lot of that funding came from mobsters over here. Like a lot of the
founders of America were slave owners.
Oh, they were shitty people. A lot.
Dude, see how she tries to spin it so fast? Well, Americans were bad too. The Americans were bad too. She hates America. She hates Edom, and she'll do anything she can to defend Israel and Jews. And whatever lie she can come up with, she'll say it. And all of these alt media MAGA people help her do it.
Who gives a fuck? This is now.
Exactly.
Well, because America, we're 300 years away from that.
It was a desert, and they built it into beautiful cities, and they do great technological work for the benefit of humanity. And so this is now. It ain't then.
But what I'm saying is
They
that
paid
in America,
for the land. No, I'm talking about Israel. They paid for the land.
It wasn't a desert. Oh, no, I mean, it's a desert, but there's still a desert. There's lots of unoccupied places, but they also took Palestinian villages and cities. It wasn't all a desert. What's the saying? Like, a land without a people for a people without a land. There were already people on that land, and you took it by force and coercion.
They said that
but we're only like one generation removed from those people.
No, we're two generations.
Like, for example, Ari Emanuel, who owns Endeavor, like one of the biggest entertainment groups in America. Ram, Emanuel, like these are very powerful three brothers, right? The Emanuels. Their dad was in the Irgun. And so there's a generation of power people in our world right now that are one generation.
Netanyahu's dad worked with Jabotinsky too.
Removed from the founders of Israel. And a lot of those founders were.
And Likud is Menachem Begin.
Probably very.
Secular.
Secular. See, it's not Jews. Oh, it's secular. See how this is why I get so mad. I did a video with I've covered this a lot. These noticers, these namers on Twitter, online will say, "Oh, it's the secular state of Israel. They're a bunch of atheists in Israel." See how Roseanne just did the same thing, trying to scapegoat. Oh, not real Jews. Jews in name only. It's not Judaism. They're Satanists. Believe in Yahweh. Like Yahweh is what's driving Israel and these Jews, and anytime it's something bad, she'll twist it that it's Satan and that God is still good.
I'm saying that there's probably people that were good and people that were bad in those founding groups, but a lot of them were doing things that were atrocious or were just obviously like mobsters or Rothschilds.
Can I ask you a question?
Well, there was a war. If you're talking about Irgun, there was a war against the British. So just like the Irish did, they had to bomb some shit.
Yeah.
So why, just like the Irish did, so why did they have to wage war against the British and the British Mandate? Because they wouldn't give you the land? They wouldn't take the land for you and then give it to you?
I'm saying is does that, from your guys' perspective as Jewish people, do you guys have concerns about how that influence of bad people in the mix at the time during the founding?
Of course.
Do you worry about their running thread of?
Well, I worry about.
Because a lot of them are still there and they do bad things still. And I was going to say, when I said all the guys that are in the deep state, no matter their religion, race, or creed. Well, we know their creed's the same, but their religion, race, or nationality, they're all the same guys, and there's not a lot of them. But I gave a speech about the October 7th massacre, and, now it's just kind of coming out now because they made the general resign, and he admitted that he didn't do a good job.
The IDF general?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
And he didn't do a good job for the Israeli people, but he did a great job for the deep state that he works for. And, they wanted to kill a bunch of... It's funny because the leftist liberals, they always kill leftist liberals. And
okay, let's see here. 101.
The only ones that
like
got to
I would argue
fight.
that's a perfect example of this bigger world order thing.
Right.
And so everyone that's involved, especially the most powerful players, like, because let's be honest, not all of those, like, yeah, there's Saudi families in that actually in this case, in
Well,
Ireland's
they're
case,
dead
the Saudis
now
were involved.
because
That's what I'm
bin
saying.
Salman killed them all.
Yeah.
They're all dead
But
now.
like
Also,
all
the
of
Carlisle
those,
group with the Bushes.
exactly,
Yeah.
all of those people are
oil.
in that group, and they all take a piece of what's valuable to them. So Israel was highly benefited. Those Jewish and Israeli families that are in that group, they were like, we want to fucking overthrow these other countries. We want to go to war in Afghanistan. The CIA, was
Why?
like, hell yeah, we want to.
Why? Why did they want to do all that? Can we criticize the Torah? Are you going to say it's the Torah plan? The Judaism, Torah, Yahweh, Moshiach blueprint? Are you going to call out that conspiracy? Is anybody?
Take over the
They're all
opium
the
production
same
in
guys.
Afghanistan.
PNAC.
Yeah, exactly.
It
And
is
Bush,
PNAC
the Bush
and
family has always been a
Kissinger.
part.
So they're in
Bush,
alignment.
Kissinger,
Yeah.
they're all Nazis.
So it's not just the Jews. We're all
No,
in
but I would
It's
argue
the
that
Kissinger's literally Jewish. He's a Nazi.
Jewish
NWO,
side
the
has been
Nazi world
highly
order,
covered
that's
up.
what I call it, Nazi
Yeah.
world order. And
Jews are
some
better at
Jews
covering
work
up.
for the Nazis, and some Jews work for
Yeah.
the Muslim Brotherhood. And you know what? I'm still a Jew, and I'm
But if a Jew works for Jews, you call them
a
Satanists.
real Jew, so everybody can suck it.
She's the real Jew. See what I mean? Real Jews. The whole not real Jew game.
Yeah, and like I like for to be clear, just because there were Israeli people or Jewish people that were involved in 9/11 doesn't mean the Jewish people did 9/11.
Right. Thank
Right,
Or
I
the
don't
Jewish
have
people
nothing
like
to do
condone
with that.
9/11 at all.
Your side is going to be so mad at you for saying that. I'm sorry.
I know.
When
it's
you get
right,
out of
like,
here,
But
you're
it's going to be very unpopular.
it's such a mind control to get people to talk about Israel and the Jews 20.
Why is this guy? Your side will be so mad. Like your side wants to blame every Jew for 9/11. They're all in on. They all knew. They're all responsible. Like, okay, dude, sure.
24/7
Yeah.
when these friggin' ISIS is in every neighborhood here.
Yeah.
A little bit, but like ISIS is not limiting my free speech. There are no
yet.
speech laws being proposed.
Not yet.
But there are speech laws currently going
No,
through
but that's
law.
not how they do stuff. Like they attacked Israel and then lined all the kids up. Every place there was a
But I'm saying that doesn't affect me directly,
Yes,
and
it
like that
does.
is tragic.
Well,
But
no.
my free speech
No.
is already
No,
being
I'm
infringed
with
here.
you on that.
No, but I'm
the free speech
telling you,
laws. I don't like that.
Like
shit.
for me, that I'm not booked anywhere because I talk about Islamicism and the threat of that in America.
Oh, come on. You
right
go on
now
every big
because
podcast there
it's
is. Shut up.
boiling. It's getting ready to boil.
She's not
over.
booked anywhere.
Yeah, Islam is.
You're not censored
Islamicism,
anywhere.
not
They've invaded.
Islam.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Islamicism is deeply concerning, and it has no place in America or like pretty much anywhere else.
I would argue it's way more concerning than Jew or any of that stuff because to sit there and think Islam's not going to censor your free speech or if that's not part of their plan, they may not be doing it yet. That is their goal.
No,
Yeah, but
but
they
I
don't
said
have the
here's how it
political
is
power
that
to
I
do that.
can't go
Not yet.
on any show and talk about this anywhere,
Yeah.
even on the internet. They won't have me say.
Yeah, dude, every big podcast, every big Trump MAGA podcast has her on. She's never been censored in her life. What is she talking about? They won't have her on.
But your tweet mentioned the Muslim Brotherhood. You were canceled
I
all
know.
day. If the Jews ran the media, you'd have been fine the next
Canceled? Nobody canceled her for saying that. Everybody trolled her and said that she's a retarded liar.
day.
I don't think it's canceled so much as just the
Yeah.
interest, and whether it's misplaced or
Yeah.
correctly placed interest. I think right now the interest is so on Israel because for so long Israel was running and I'm not saying all of Israel. I'm saying the deep state of Israel was running targeted.
how's he
influence
losing a
campaigns
debate to
on our
Roseanne?
politicians
That's
through
funny.
AIPAC and on our politicians through Jeffrey Epstein and other
Yeah,
groups.
because just like Five Eyes, America couldn't legally do it. So it's just like part of Five Eyes. They used every one of those governments to spy on Americans.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that influence operation to benefit this whole dark system did keep us from talking about Israel for a long time.
That's
and the
true.
news
That's true.
coverage was deeply skewed to
agree.
just keep
Well,
Israel in the
the
shadows.
deep state keeps us from talking about the deep state everywhere.
Exactly.
Right? So we're agreement. We're in agreement.
And what I'm saying is that now the interest is so shifted to Israel because so many people are waking up to just that issue for the first time, and there's way more issues too.
Right.
But it's understandable that like if you're an 18-year-old kid and you realize like, oh my gosh, and this is what we were talking about earlier about how like it's really easy to then slide all the way down to the Jews run everything, which is obviously a flat take that has no texture and not very well thought through if you think it's literally everything.
Right.
And you can debate if you want to debate with facts like how much do Jewish people actually control and what is actually evil, but have a debate, like have a textured debate.
That's why
Don't
you're
just
here.
slide into it's all one thing, right?
You know, that's what Alex Jones said when he was on our show. He's like, there are these campaigns. Yes, everybody's guilty. Everybody has a piece of the pie. But if you're just saying just the Jew, this amorphous Jew, and you're ignoring everything
Then
else,
you're a Nazi.
you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And I like to say it this. It's like your first beer when you're 13. You open a beer and you're like, oh, shit.
They're like, it's not just the Jews, it's the Christians too, it's the Muslims, it's the communists. Guess what? They're all based on Judaism. They're all based on Judaism. If you say you're anti-Judaism, if you point out Judaism is a problem, you're a Nazi. You're an Amalek.
Shit, this is fun. That's what a lot of these kids are finding when they start connecting the Dawson Singh patterns of Israel control. They're not wrong, but it's like your first beer. It's
But
like, oh
what
shit, hold
it's-
on, this is cool, but there's so much
Keep
more
looking,
to it.
right?
Keep looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep
There's a lot
looking.
going on.
Yes,
Keep digging and you'll find the Satanist. You think it's the Jews. Keep digging and you'll find those Nazi Satanists hiding somewhere. At the bottom of the rabbit hole, you find the rabbis. Keep digging. Nazi, reptilian, Satanists, clockwork elves. Trust me, Alex Jones, they attacked Tucker Carlson.
Because let's look at it realistically.
Thank you.
Israel is in so many ways exactly like America. It has a deep state, and its deep state works with our deep state, works with, MI6. That's the real core of all deep states.
Yeah, it's really,
And,
it's those white people. It's those white Anglos. That's the real deep state. Mossad wasn't blackmailing the Prince Andrew. No, they're at the top of the pyramid. Everybody know England running the English deep state. They're really in charge. That's why they're replacing and demonizing the white people of England. Everybody knows those Nazis run England, and they're the tip of the deep. They're the top of the pyramid of the deep state. That's why like anything Nazi is outlawed in England. This is Alex Jones shit too, by the way. It's the Royals. The Royals really are the tip of the spear. They scapegoat the Jews. They try to make the Jews the boogeyman.
Because whether they say it or not, the Queen gives her assent to every war. The Queen of England or the King of England, who's now a Muslim. But, it is creeping, and it is, what's the word?
Get it out.
Festering?
No, Islam is a creeping thing, and it's really smart, and it knows how to get
They're
judges.
imperialists.
It knows how to play the system.
They're the shifty Jew paintings.
I'm more concerned about.
I know. He thought the same. He's like, it sounds like you're talking about Jews. Everything you just said about Muslims. And the guy's like, it sounds like shifty Jews. He nailed it.
And Jewish side of the deep state, honestly.
Then them.
And I'm open to this debate because
No, but I'm saying why? Because why would you attack America's only ally? And I'm not saying you're attacking, but why would that be your singular focus? The only republic in
well,
the
I'm speaking
Middle
about
East.
the deep state or specifically, not about the nations
Well,
themselves.
then I'm all for that because I want the deep state out of Israel too. Because the
absolutely.
one thing they do is pass laws where Jewish kids can't study Jewish history.
Yeah.
I mean, they do.
That damn Nazi deep state not letting the kids research Jewish history. This one again.
MI6. That's the real core of all deep states.
All deep state, the ultimate deep state.
They're
Judges.
imperialists.
It knows how to play the system.
They're the shifty Jew paintings.
I'm more concerned about the Christian and Jewish side of the deep state, honestly.
Then them.
And I'm open to this debate because
No, but I'm saying why? Because why would you attack America's only ally?
As soon as he tried to get into the Christian and Jewish deep state, religious deep state, they both interrupt and she yells over him.
Why? And I'm not saying you're attacking, but why would that be your singular focus? The only republic in
well,
the
I'm speaking
Middle
about
East.
the deep state or specifically, not about the nations
Well,
themselves.
then I'm all for that because I want the deep state out of Israel too. Because the
absolutely.
one thing they do is pass laws where Jewish kids can't study Jewish history.
Yeah.
The real issues, guys, that deep state, keeping those Jewish kids from history, like they don't learn about Jewish history. They don't read the Bible, which is where their fake Jewish history comes from. Please. You see how pathetic this is? Roseanne is top tier propaganda.
I mean, they do the same shit they do here. You can't talk about the emancipation of the slaves and how what a great thing that was for Americans to have come to.
All they ever talk about in schools is demonizing the slave trade and white people and how we all owe them forever because of slavery. Everything she says is just like the exact inversion of reality.
You just have to continually talk about this, the horror of
Entrenched racism
slavery.
Yeah.
Because they're mind
Like they're not, hold on.
effing us.
They're mind effing us. That's why there's like the most history kids learn in school is Holocaust stuff. This guy's just thinking, God, this woman is insane.
And they're doing it in Israel too. Forcibly. Well, it's exactly like America. It's split, and they're beginning.
Right, see through it all. Hollywood makes a new movie about slavery and Holocaust every year. And those are the ones that always win the Academy Awards, too. And she's talking about, dude, every little bit. Do you think she really believes this or she knows she's lying?
to see that they're controlled by a deep state that has no interest in their republic or the rights of its people. And I'm all for that revolution in Israel and in America.
All around the world.
And everywhere else, right?
Yep.
Because we have to throw off
The Satanists.
the vampires.
The vampires.
And I would argue, I mean, I don't know for sure, but it seems to me like a lot of the Arab world has a similar deep state problem.
Yes, they
and
do.
in some countries it's royal families, and in other countries it almost seems like it's actually like terrorist organizations that like.
Why are we just like talking about all these vague, unknown deep state, but never criticizing like the religion that underpins all of this? Okay, let's see. Next clip. 114.
Arabs to kill Jews because pay for slay. That comes from American NGOs. It's all bullshit. So I think now that I just read about, and I think also America has stepped on Israel to go, you can't use your real high-tech weapons.
Come on.
Because Israel could.
We're sending them the high-tech weapons, Roseanne. All the missiles that are killing Palestinian kids. Our Christian politicians go over and sign the missiles that go and kill the Palestinians. And she's spinning that. Billions in aid, arming them, defending them. And she spins it that America's stopping them, tying their hands, not letting them defend themselves. God, these lies.
I will say I just have a problem with so much of our tax dollars going to Israel
I understand
in order
that.
to drop bombs on civilians.
I've tried to explain
largely.
this to her.
That's what I have an issue with.
She doesn't like. Can I set this up?
Yes.
A lot of people on your side, I
Yeah.
do see it. It's like a sort of a libertarian worldview. It's like, why are we getting involved in these foreign wars? Why is our money going to Israel? And I try and tell her a lot because she's like, very pro-Israel. It's like a lot of these.
I
kids
agree
here-
with that, though.
But that's a lot of what the Israel hate that you and I see online that we get pissed about is like, why are we sending so much of our tax dollars? We're struggling here.
Yeah.
It's going to America.
Good point, Frog Eyes. The pager bombs. Israel did the pager bombs. Netanyahu's gifting golden pagers to Trump and Fetterman. All of our politicians were like, good going, Israel, with that advanced operation against blowing up all the pagers. Great job. You guys are so sophisticated and amazing. Hey, Netanyahu, you're basically 007. Oh, they're tying our hands behind our back. They're not letting us defend ourselves.
Going to Israel and Ukraine, I would push back and say that I don't think Israel and Ukraine are the same thing for reasons she just mentioned. I agree.
They're definitely not the same thing.
No.
They're not. I think
They're both important.
they're both.
But I'll
important.
tell you what.
Israel is a satellite base for the U.S. in the Middle East.
That's
And
what I like.
Oh, that one. That's a go-to talking point. There are battleship in the Middle East. There are satellite. There are proxy. We run them. That's why they're buying off all the politicians. That's why our politicians are scared to criticize Israel. That's why they all worship Israel as the Holy Land occupied by the chosen people. Because it's not the other way around. They're passing hate speech laws and anti-Semitism laws and anti-boycott laws because we really run them. Come on.
false.
See end.
Everything
I would
false.
love to see that end. I'm not like other, I say I don't think like other people,
Yeah.
but I would love to see that end because I think that America has, under Biden and Obama, they have forced Israel into a corner that it can't fight from. And, they use it as a puppet state, as a client state. And I always say, I wish Israel.
For what? To make all the Arab countries hate us? They hate us because of Israel. How does Israel benefit us? Give me a break.
Israel would just say, we're cutting off all
Foreign aid.
or cutting off all contact with America until you stop funding the UN, because we fund the UN too. So I think Israel should say,
Although I bet
Is the UN or Israel should say they're not going to accept any more of our aid or our weapons or our support or defending them at the UN or the ICC or everything else that we do, bribing and buying off other countries to normalize with Israel and turn the other way and vote with him at the UN. Israel should deny all of that until we pull out of the UN because the UN's anti-Semitic. Like all of our ambassadors to the UN, Nikki Haley, are the biggest Israel slaves there are. And this is the shit. Dude, Roseanne is out of her goddamn mind. We're in deep shit when Roseanne is like an intellectual thought leader and podcast star in the conspiracy world and the info world
Trump is
on the
gonna
right
change that.
wing.
I hope so.
will.
I pray to God every day.
Yeah.
But I wish Israel would say, we are no longer a satellite state of the Democrats that are batshit crazy. We don't want none of your money.
Now it's the Democrats. The Democrats are secretly running Israel. The Democrat Nazi Muslim Brotherhood are controlling Israel. Israel needs to free themselves from the Nazi Muslim Brotherhood left wing. Like,
And I think they're about that close to doing it. And I think that's going to be great for the world that, like, American leftists can't dictate, I call them Obama Jews, through, the gays in Tel Aviv, how it's going to go.
Yeah.
To make another state in their neighborhood that wants to kill them. Fuck that. I think they should say, America, we're cutting off all ties with you. Won't want one more penny till you defund the UN.
Yeah, they should threaten us.
And stop paying for...
Like, they're going to threaten us that we have to defund the UN because the UN is anti-Israel. She doesn't even get how threats work. We're there funding the UN and vetoing every resolution against Israel and protecting you at the UN. They're doing what they're doing at the UN to protect Israel.
Arabs to kill Jews because pay for slay. That comes from American NGOs. It's all bullshit.
Look how she scapegoats Muslims are fighting against their occupation in Israel. She blames America. It's America's fault. Israel is only America's proxy. America's the one telling Muslims to attack Jews. Every single thing she says is a lie. He knows it. Look at that face. He knows it's all bullshit.
So I think now that I just read about, and I think also America.
He's too scared to say, you're a crazy woman and this is nothing but like delusional propaganda. Where's that?
Has stepped on Israel to go, you can't use your real high-tech weapons. Because Israel could, like Candace Owen did say this, but, she's all confused, whatever. She's pregnant, hormones and shit. I know how you get. She's always saying, debate me if you want. And then I say, okay, I want to debate you. And then she hides.
Well, then she shares your DMs.
Yeah, but you know what? Come on, let's talk. You know I love you. Let's talk this over.
And
stop hiding. Yeah. Stop doing your shit. You know I love you. Come on here. We'll talk. Anyway.
Or you'll go on her show. Whatever. We just want to talk.
I'm not going on her show to see the comments by them fucking anti-Semites. Or as my mom calls them, anti-Semites.
We'll do a podcast.
Semites.
But, I forget.
You're talking about their high-tech weapons that they don't let Israel use their high-tech weapons?
America was stepping on it and going, you can't use that.
What kind of high-tech weapons do you mean?
Well, I'm going to get to it.
The roads of God.
But America was like, we got to make our cut on this.
Is this the problem? Israel hasn't killed enough Palestinians. They need more high-tech weapons. That's her big concern.
She shares your DMs.
Yeah, but you know what? Come on, let's talk. You know I love you. Let's talk this over. Stop hiding. Yeah. Stop doing your shit. You know I love you. Come on here. We'll talk. Anyway.
Or you'll go on her show. Whatever.
I'm not going on her show to see the comments by them fucking anti-Semites. Or as my mom calls them, anti-Semites.
Semites?
But,
you're talking about their high-tech weapons that they don't let Israel use their high-tech weapons?
America was stepping on it and going, you can't use that.
What kind of high-tech weapons do you mean?
Well, I'm going to get to it.
The roads of God.
But America was like, we got to make our cut on this because all the aid they give to Israel depends on Israel buying American weapons with it.
You see, everything Israel's done in the Middle East to Gaza, this is just so America can make money. It's the Americans' fault. They're just blaming the Jews. The Jews don't want to occupy and colonize and wage war and turn it to glass and take it over because it's their holy land. No, it's those evil white Americans trying to get their cut on the weapons. Everything she does is a projection, scapegoat, deflection. Deflection, scapegoat, projection. Inversion.
The people are living like, most people are in poverty,
That's a deep state money laundering scheme.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to give you extra if you'll get some Joe like Jeffrey Epstein with an egg-shaped penis to blackmail all these people and get Diddy involved. It's all bullshit. Yeah. I'm telling you.
He knows.
And So
smart.
I say, Israel, break ties with America till they stop funding the UN and all the Nazis in the UN.
Oh, please do that.
Satanists.
Nazis at the UN.
That's what's going to happen. I see it.
Didn't they create the UN and they acknowledged Israel, the state of Israel? Because that was totally the Nazis that did that, right? Dude, I'm so sick of her.
And then Israel's going to be friendlier with their neighbors because America's not going to be using them to steal oil under the ground from the neighbors. Mm-hmm. See, this is what I see. Because it's right there in the Bible. It says it.
Do you think
right there in the Bible. It says that it's all Whitey's fault, trying to steal that oil and blame everything on the Jews. It's all in the Bible. Hey, Ian, how about a little criticism of the fucking fake Jewish Bible? Can we muster that? How fucking milquetoast are you, dude? Call out the problem. It's the Bible. You go along with it.
Survive that in this conflict? Because some people have this thinking that Israel would collapse without American aid.
No, it would do better.
I think
because
I agree.
Israel
would do better without us. We haven't been helping them at all. Jesus Christ. You agree, huh? They do better without us?
Israel's better in technology than China.
I'm actually
Fuck
really
you,
concerned
China.
about how good Israel is with
No,
technology.
I'm going to tell you what I saw. Because I'm an old Jewish woman. Everyone will take my calls.
Say again? Sorry, what?
I'm a nosy old Jewish woman, but I'm famous, so everybody will take my calls. So
I thought you were blacklisted and nobody would have you on their shows. Now the truth comes out. She's literally like bipolar, senile, dementia. She's always been crazy, but now she's really crazy. I don't think it's funny either. There's nothing about her that's funny. Why does anybody care what this woman thinks?
money. What the hell?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? They're all
Absolutely.
evil at the top, and they depend on children's blood. They love it. They can't get enough of it.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah,
In
I
every
keep
way
on looking
possible.
for hard evidence of it because there's so much
what?
soft evidence of the various types of adrenochrome and Satanism and organ harvesting.
Blood
and,
show.
Yeah, and there is real evidence of little bits of each piece of it, but
There's no evidence that drinking blood gives you magical powers. There's no evidence of that. It's so easy to look up and see. Nothing. You can inject young blood into you and it will make your organs like become younger. Well, that's not what people claim adrenochrome is.
keep on waiting for us to uncover like how Pizzagate was this huge leap forwards for understanding what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting for them, for example, when they were busting Jeffrey Epstein's operation, I'd bet there was a certain percentage chance that they would have stumbled across, like suppose they'd gotten into his ranch before they'd been able to clear out whatever was downstairs.
No, there was enough evidence at his ranch
Right?
that
But
he.
they disappeared it all.
No, they did. Well, they had testimony.
We haven't seen any of it. They disappeared it.
They was all impregnating their slaves
Exactly.
for stem cells,
Yep.
so they could look younger. For
Yeah.
fuck's
That's
sake.
like John of God down in
Yeah.
Brazil, wherever it was, right?
Oprah's friend.
Yeah, and when they raided him, they actually found the baby breeding facilities. And
Yeah.
so what I'm saying is that there are adrenochrome, like there are facilities breeding whatever the like technical truth
What does breeding have to do with adrenochrome?
Yeah,
of the
stem
adrenochrome
cells.
thing is, right?
Stem cells.
So are you of the opinion that it's like stem cell medications that are illegal because you're not allowed to do research on stem cell?
Probably.
Like stem cell things that help you be younger, kind of like drugs, and that rich people are basically doing a bunch of advanced stem cell research because
Yeah.
you get stem cells from fetuses, babies, young
Yeah,
people,
that's what
right?
Epstein was doing at Zorro Ranch,
go. Yeah.
and they were so fucking corrupt and crazy that Epstein and them they wanted to create. They all want to create their master race,
Yeah.
like Hitler and shit. Like Epstein and his.
Thinks she's chosen by God and wants to call other people master race.
buddies that-
Elon.
That's chutzpah.
Epstein and them that don't give a shit about Judaism. They never had a Sabbath in their damn lives.
Yeah, he's a gyno, Jew in name only.
and,
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
and there he is telling people he's got.
So anytime a Jew does something good, they go, oh, Jews are so smart, so amazing. This Nobel Prize, that Nobel Prize. If a Jew does something bad, they're all of a sudden not real Jews anymore. And Satanists, even if they don't even believe in Satan. We know these tricks.
Gotta have only Jewish baby blood for his super race. That's a friggin' Nazi.
Yeah.
Is what
Because the Nazis really loved their Jew blood for their super race. Does this woman even hear herself?
that is a eugenicist.
Yep.
That's Nazi. That ain't no Jew. So he was trying to get girls pregnant for their.
Epstein, Nazi, not a Jew. Look, see this pill technique? Epstein wasn't working for Mossad to blackmail world leaders and politicians and high industry people. He's actually not a Jew working for the Nazis. Is that a little trick?
So he could take the fetuses like Hillary Clinton does and sell their livers, I say, to Bill Gates for his fake meat at McDonald's. I mean,
Now we're
I
getting
am
somewhere.
so way more into the,
Yeah.
and it's true. And they all come from Cain.
Now we're all friends.
They're Cainites.
See, she's a supremacist rabbi mode now. They all have the blood of Cain. They're reptilians. The evil Gentile souls have the evil, murderous blood of Cain. This is blood libel. This is her schizo Bible conspiracies. The blood of Cain. Right there, you should be like, Roseanne, you're crazy. Cain and Abel is a stupid Jewish myth. Stop demonizing all non-Jews as the blood of Cain.
This religion is the Cainite religion of Cain, of Babylon.
Do you think they actually have, like, not all of them, obviously, but do you think that there are actual, like, secret society level?
It's secret Babylonians. It's not Judaism and Christianity and Islam. That's not the problem. It's the Babylonian satanic Nazis. You just got to believe in the Bible. The Bible tells it all.
level books.
Hell
like,
yeah.
passed around.
You haven't heard
Yeah.
of the Masons?
Oh, I've heard of the Masons.
Freemasons?
Although
The Mason book is the Bible.
I have a pretty different take on the Masons than I think most do.
What's
it's
yours?
not popular.
I want to hear this.
Oh, I want to hear.
He says they're awesome. He goes, "Oh, America, the Masons are not all bad. They were infiltrated." That's basically what he says here. Let's go to 130.
It's
Fuck
common
it.
one way or another.
That's a good way to
right?
look. I'm
I don't
scared.
know. I think, you know, we'll see what, I think God's in control of everything. We'll see what he does with it. I mean, maybe it'll be a big distraction for a long time, but sooner or later, goodness is going to win.
I think that is the cycle. I mean, I think that's always the cycle, is that humanity is kind of on an eternal march towards God and towards goodness.
Yeah.
But
Towards what God? Goodness according to who, Ian? What God? Humanity's marching to the God of Zion? Is that what you're saying there? No? Then why are you going along with it? Marching, that's the problem. Humanity is marching towards the Jewish God. That's the conspiracy.
But I think that in each cycle of whatever the new thing that tests us, the next thing we're kind of given by this process we go through, and in this case, it's like AI is a good example, AI and technology right now,
Terrifying.
and it's inherently going to be used for horrible things by horrible people, and that's our test through which we learn the responsibility of being a species that holds AI, right? And it's going to be dark as we go through it, and obviously we're never going to be all good or all bad. We're never going to do all the right things with AI or all the wrong things. But I agree that I think that good does win as long as good people speak up for good.
Trust the plan, guys. Good's going to win. What is good? What is your idea of good? God? The Jewish God is good? Jewish God's going to win? If everything bad is Satan, well, the good guy, if Satan's the bad guy, the good guy is the Jewish God. Is that who's going to win? Is that what we're marching to, Ian?
And the more longer
that's
people
true,
stay
too.
silent, the longer we have to go through the evil.
Zion, he smashed right through it. They were given beautiful beachside property and they did nothing with it. I'm going to build a thing. I mean, talk about fucking smashing the imperialist mind control.
I love
That's
that.
why I love him.
A little bit. I
want
Probably
my-
see it different.
I want my
She thinks Trump taking over Gaza is smashing imperialism. Trump conquering Gaza after they turned it all to rubble, and then Trump's going to take it and it'll be handed over to Israel at some point. She loves it, of course. Remember Ian when this happened? He had a whole video. It was a big scandal. He was like for it. He's like, Trump's making a good political move. He tried to like sugarcoat it, put some spin on it.
beachfront property in Gaza there. Gaza's where Samson fought.
Yeah, I just can't help but feel like,
Oh,
aside from the politics of
Shut
it,
up.
there
She
are
doesn't
thousands
not
of dead
interrupt.
children in Gaza that were just children.
Yeah,
and they're
well, they
not.
should have put them in the fucking tunnels, motherfuckers.
Yeah, but like that's not how like.
well, you don't.
Dude, she is psycho. You should have put him in the tunnels. You don't think that parents, if they could have protected their kids, they would have? Put him in the tunnels. You're blaming us for dropping bombs on him? Well, you should have put him in the tunnels. Look at her face, too. She's so mad. She doesn't care about any of those kids. She probably listens to rabbis that call them snakes that are going to grow up and be terrorists, like we just saw in the opening compilation.
Go attack your neighbor knowing they're going to come back at you
Seriously.
full force
I
and,
hate
what
and
I'm
put
saying
your
is-
weapons in kindergartens and hospitals
Yeah.
because they knew the kids would die. Those motherfuckers, they're mind control Satanists and they need child sacrifice. And
That's
they
what it is.
sacrificed every one of them.
Yeah, the Muslims are Satanists that want to sacrifice their own children. This is so fucked. Roseanne is so fucked. All the people, Anomaly will drop everything and go run and hang out with Roseanne at her house too. Will you call her out for this shit, Anomaly? Ian? Alex Jones?
Dead Arab
And I'm
children.
saying those
Don't get
kids
me
had nothing
started.
to do with it.
No, of
but
course
they
not.
used them as
Yeah.
human sacrifice because they want their blood and their organs. So fuck the UN, fuck them all, fuck all the Satanists. They're, I want the lives of Arab children. Let them all come to Israel and be free of mind
Yeah,
control.
right.
And so
Yeah,
that's what
right. Yeah, like Jews are saying that in Israel, please.
That's what I said 20 years ago when I said, let's just call it Israelstein. We'll make it based on children's rights if we want a real Jewish state.
Would love
It'll
that.
be based on children's and women's rights. Fuck all y'all. God almighty.
We don't want child soldiers anyway.
No, we
It's
don't
bad in
want
Sierra
that.
Leone. It's
We're
bad.
gonna
Child
have-
soldiers is one of the
We're
greatest
gonna have a real
atrocities.
biblical.
It's
We're gonna have a real
Almost worse
biblical
than
state.
She's off the res.
Did you hear her? She wants a biblical state. Listen.
And they sacrificed every one of them dead Arab
And
children.
I'm saying those
Don't get
kids
me
had
started.
See, no, the Jews didn't kill the Palestinian kids with their bombs. The Muslims sacrificed their children because they want the blood of their own children.
To do with it.
No, of
But
course
they
not.
used them as human sacrifice because they want their blood and their organs. So fuck the UN, fuck them all, fuck all the Satanists. You know, I want the lives of Arab children. Let them all come to Israel and be free of mind control.
Yeah. And so that's what I mean.
Yeah, no mind control in Israel.
That's
It's
what I
like-
said 20 years ago. Jew ass. Every one of them dead Arab children.
With it.
No, of
But
course
they
not.
use children's rights if we want a real Jewish state. It'll be based on children's and women's rights. Fuck all y'all. God almighty.
We don't want child soldiers anyway.
No, we don't want that.
Child
We're gonna
soldiers is one of the
have a real
great
biblical. We're gonna have a real
Almost worse
biblical
than
state.
She's
A real biblical state. He's just like, my mom's crazy. Sorry, my mom's insane.
It's almost worse than child sex trafficking, honestly.
It might
It's
be.
the same thing.
'Cause it's double
they have
victims.
to. They have to anally rape a boy to get him to be a soldier.
the thing.
Hello, I'm.
No, you don't have to rape a little Palestinian boy. When a Palestinian sees his dad and his family and his neighbors blown up by Israeli bombs because they think they're chosen by God and God gave him the land, they want to go fight. They're fighting for their lives and for their nation. And she says, oh, they're just fighting because they've been anally raped and they want to be human sacrifice. This is all psychotic shit. Fuck Roseanne.
sick of it. It's all based on that, and I know it. You're all a bunch of pedophiles.
Her Bible says, like, to be happy when you bash the baby's heads against the rocks. We've got clips of rabbis saying it and smiling about it. She acts like sacrificing your son isn't a Jewish thing. Yahweh sacrificed his son Jesus. Yahweh wanted Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac. She goes, oh, they're all Canaanites. You worship a Canaanite God. Yahweh is a Canaanite God. You're a branch of Canaanite religion mixed with other shit.
All y'all,
They're
every
Satanists.
one of you in
But
power.
think about it. Child sex trafficking is the victim is the child. But if it's a child soldier who's been victimized, they don't just want to be a soldier. They're also raped into it.
Christian's
Now they're
enabler,
out
yeah.
shooting people. It's double victim. It's double worse. It's way more.
It's all about
atrocious.
the Satanists wanting to hump the boys in the butt. Like I said, it's all about boy ass. Everything in this world is run on boy
Ian
ass.
Carroll, this is when
You
the
gotta
second
stop.
glass
You're
of wine
going
kicks
straight
in.
to hell. You're going straight to hell. I'm telling you what, you're going straight to hell. God knows who you are too.
Yep.
And he's going to take you out. You're over.
Dude, this is psychotic Jew shit. You're all Amalek, you're all anti-Semites, you're all Nazis, and it's over, and God wins. And you're satanic Nazis, and God wins. Average Jewish woman? No, she's probably not average. She's probably pretty extreme.
Babylon has fallen. Pharaoh, kiss my Jew ass.
Babylon is falling. They view even Christianity. Revelation, the book of Revelation, Babylon is Rome, and they consider us the new Babylon.
Can I say one thing? I know we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
First of all,
Anti-Babylon is basically anti-American coded right now.
you're a fucking stud.
Thank
Come
you.
here. You're in our house. You guys had a little debate on Twitter. We're polar
love
opposite.
you.
We thought, I think we're totally in unison here.
Yeah, Twitter skews towards. I mean, we have
Here's what I'm going to
disagreements, but
tell you.
who
I
cares?
told you I was
Well,
going
wait,
to.
Mom,
Almost
please
over.
finish. It's very
He
awesome.
weighed
of you-
10 pounds.
Please let me finish.
I
You
had
never let me
hemorrhoids
finish.
for weeks. And he's going to tell me to be quiet.
Just let me
What?
finish one sentence, and then I just want to say
She's
it's
so
pretty fucking
annoying
awesome. You
and
drove
never
here
funny.
from Austin. It's an
Oh,
hour drive. Will
totally.
you move your mic back? You could have told.
He went straight from here to InfoWars. He's on InfoWars again today. Red flag, anybody? Oh, it's all the Satanists. We all got to march toward God. You're either married to Christ or you're married to the devil.
This fuck off like Candace did.
It's the secret Nazis everywhere. The ADL are super Nazis. It's the Fourth Reich. It's the Royals. It's not the Jews. They're just being scapegoated. But we all need to get together under the Messiah, Moshiach, together.
Came here, and I think we did a lot of good work today on both sides. I think we actually came to an agreement for the most part.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that it's
we
so
all
it's
have to
Satan.
fight the pedos. We have
Yes.
to fight them,
Yeah.
whoever they are, wherever they are, what color,
Muslim,
nationality.
Christian,
all of
atheist.
them, they got to go.
Yes.
Yep.
I need to be installed as queen of the world. I know what is needed, and I'll bomb every motherfucker. I will. I'm sick of this shit.
We believe you.
I'm 72. I don't have much time to see the beautiful kingdom of God bloom here on earth as was promised in Torah. Damn it.
See, she wants her Torah-promised Jutopia. Do you not, Ian, is this not helping you recognize what the problem is? I bet you if Ian watches this, which I doubt he will, I bet you he would probably agree with my points on this. Is he going to disagree? Is he not? Is he gonna watch something like this and not realize that Torah is the problem?
And he's going to take you out. You're over. Babylon has fallen. Pharaoh, kiss my Jew ass.
Babylon, Pharaoh, Moloch, Satanists. The Bible says this is the root of all of this mental illness, Ian.
First of all,
Stop running cover for the Abrahamic gatekeepers in the Abrahamic matrix.
you're a fucking stud. Hey, come here, you're in our house. You got
Color,
Jew, Muslim.
nationality.
I would like to.
And you can kiss my ass. Hands off them kids, no matter who they are, no
Yes.
matter what they believe. Hands off.
Free Palestine.
Free the world from
Hamas.
pedophiles,
That's my final word.
Satanists.
Hamas.
Free the world from
Hamas.
Satan.
Hamas.
Free the world from Satan.
Yeah, free the world from the whole cabal.
The whole fucking thing.
Yep.
Fuck them, right?
Yep.
Hey, we want to be freed from these Abrahamic psychos, these Torah sheep slaves.
Yeah, and thank
I'm
you
giving
for
you the last word.
for like, it was so cool because it's important to state for the record too that you guys reached out to me.
Yeah.
It's not like I was like, oh, let's like I was kind of having fun having a Twitter beef because it's not like personal in my world. I don't think
It's
personal.
all Jake's fault because I said every Jew in the world's going to be up my ass like they are when I go on Alex or Tucker
That's a
or
good
I'm a
idea,
traitor, and I'm like, I talk to people, fuck off.
Yeah,
No, we reached out to you 100% because there is a factioning happening on the right.
We can't let it happen. We can't be Islamicized on the right like the left did. Shut up, Jake.
No, that's true. There's a factioning on the right. There's a factioning on the right that you and I talked outside.
Hemorrhoids for weeks.
And it does not appear organic. Those are your words. I
It
think
ain't organic. That's what I say on October 7th.
Every movie
we
gets
want to
fractured
stop the
and
factioning of the right. That's why we.
Now we got to stop it all because
We want to stop the factioning of the right. We want everybody to get back on the Abrahamic plantation, where you're pointing the finger at the Satanist everywhere, all chasing ghosts and shadows of Satanists and deep states, and all worshiping the Jew God and following the Jew plan. That's what he wanted to do. Bring Ian back on and his large audience and get him thinking, oh, it's the Satanist everywhere. We got to march toward God. We got to march toward Zion and Yahweh.
evil. Like October 7th, that was Putin's birthday, and he was there with what's his name that got killed. What's
I
his
don't know
name?
anything about Putin being involved.
Wait, it was his
That is
birthday.
interesting.
And he was there with the Hamas guy that Israel killed. They was lighting candles on the October 7th, which is a big Templar holiday. I'm
Well,
going
you know,
to
October
post it.
13th, Friday the 13th,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Templars.
Yeah.
So that
Listen,
was.
it's a war between
Interesting.
good and evil, and Torah says that God created this earth, so it
Torah
would play
says.
out a war between God and Satan.
Yeah,
and
that's
that's what
right.
we're living in. So
No. Jews invented God and came up with scripture, them against the Gentiles. That's more accurate. Ian's realizing like these fucking Bible psychos right now. I know that's what he's thinking in his head, but he won't say it. He won't say it because you become persona non grata on the conspiracy right-wing world where he's at. At his rate, if he comes out against Christianity and religion, he's probably will end up losing millions of dollars. That's the way it works.
you better pick your side.
Pick your side. You're either with the Jews or you're with Amalek. You're with the Jew God or you're with the Jew villain.
Listen, I picked my side, and I think you've picked your side.
Yep.
And I think
and,
we're on
Yeah.
the same side.
And they're both on the Jew God side. See how they try to do that? They're like, you're with us, right? Everything's bad Satanist. You're with the Jew God, right? We're on the same side. We're all with the Jew God, right?
And it's a war between
Interesting.
between good and evil. And Torah says that God created this earth, so it would play out a war between God and Satan.
Yeah,
And that's what
right.
we're living in. So you better pick your side. Listen, I picked my side, and I think you've picked your side.
Yep.
And I think we're on the same side.
We're on the same side, right?
Yep.
We're
Yeah,
on
it's
God's
It's
side.
on God's side, really.
Yes.
And even for people that don't.
What God, Ian? What God side are you on? The God of the Bible? The Bible you said you bought? Is that the side you're on? See that? That's what this whole show breaks down to that right there. Hey, you're on our side, right? Yeah, the God. We're all on the side of God. Very good.
Yep.
And I think
And,
we're on the same side.
We're on the same side, right?
Yep.
We're
Yeah,
on
it's-
God's
it's
side.
on God's side, really.
Yes.
And even for people that don't understand or believe in God yet, it's time to start opening your mind and your heart to find your verse.
Hey, Goy, you don't believe? You're not scared by the imaginary Satanist everywhere? You got to open your mind and your heart and believe in the Jew God. You like that? What a beautiful ending, huh? I feel like we just healed the world. Tikkun Olam with Roseanne.
We're on the same side, right?
Yep.
We're
Yeah,
on
it's-
God's
it's
side.
on God's side, really.
Yeah,
And
we're
even for
all
people
just
that
on
don't
Jew
understand
God's
or believe
side.
in God yet, it's time to start opening your mind and your heart to finding your version of God, whatever you need to hear to believe in God. Because God is just, in its most simple form, goodness in humans, love, and the truth.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
And Satan is the lies, the deception, the evil,
Hate.
the hate.
Okay, guess what? Her idea of God, the Christian God, the Abrahamic God, is not truth. So you can't say God is truth. If you say God is truth, you're not talking about the lies in the Hebrew Bible, because that is not the truth. Such a little bitch thing to say, like, oh, even whatever God is just good things and Satan is just bad things. It's like, dude.
The fear, right?
And projecting your sins onto other people, as Jesus said. Removing the
Like she did
sinner
all
from,
stream.
your neighbor, from the person you
Splinter.
project. How did he say
There's
it?
the splinter in your eye.
The splinter
I think.
in their eye, and not seeing the cinder block in your own.
No.
I mean, he really talked about projection, and people are always talking to me about Jesus and what I say, and I try to keep it close to my heart and secret, because it's none of their damn business what I think of, what I believe in. I don't politicize it, but I just want to say, I just think people are closer together than they think. And I think the more we talk to each other, the closer we get to God.
100%.
Yep.
Thank you again.
Everything else.
Well,
Just the
thank you.
golden rule, which is the golden ratio, which is everything.
So you're a Nazi.
Everything connected.
You're the Jews, I'll be the Nazi.
This
Oh,
is
you're
funny.
a Nazi.
We agree.
Everything connected.
You're the Jews,
you
I'll be the
see-
Nazi.
Am I your Jew handler now, or how does
No,
this work?
but
I'm
it
sure
goes,
you are.
You know what Jew meant? It's a Jewish story. The Bible is a Jewish story.
That's true.
And we're in the last part of the story, which is a great story.
We're in the last part of the story. We're in the end times. Are we just going to not call out the elephant in the room here, Ian? This is the root of the problem. You're looking for the root of the problem in the Middle East? On why America has a Zionism problem? On why half the world is believing in magical Jewish fairy tales? Right here, Ian. Talk about it.
A story that lasts 6,000 years. And
Greatest story ever told.
We're in the last part of the story, which is a great story. But
Where we win.
time since it was just about the indigenous people that left Egypt, which was 12 tribes, I hate to tell you, but everybody was a Jew, and that meant person.
Oh my God.
Okay, there you go. Bye-bye.
Wow. All right.
All right. That was... Could have done without that one, right? Oh, that was painful. You guys see why I wanted to share that, right? To illustrate, this is what is all too common in the conspiracy world, in the right-wing world. Christian-controlled ops. Abrahamic matrix. The Judeo-prophecy plantation.
This prophecy is how they enslave us.
Right? Call out the prophecies, Ian. Call out the fake Jewish Messiah. Call out the fake prophecies. And stop shilling for the Jewish God. We're on to it.